Look at this beautiful bowl of beauty. This is homemade guacamole, fresh, delicious, healthy, so much better than anything you could buy at the store is what you can make yourself at home. So for this recipe, I'm not going to give you measurements for the ingredients. I'll tell you what ingredients I like to use, but this is really a lesson in taste. A lesson in making it the way you want it until it tastes exactly the way you like it. And a lot of that depends on putting in salt. If you don't put in enough salt, it's not going to taste good. Nothing's going to taste good. So let me give this gorgeous guacamole a try with one of these chips, which is a perfect thing to go with guacamole. One of my favorite things, guacamole. A little spicy from the jalapeno, but not too much. This guacamole is probably not going to last past today, and that's good because guacamole is never really as good the second day. All right, so let me show you what goes into this beautiful guacamole. All right, let's get down to the ingredients needed to make my guacamole. All right, so first of all, what you're gonna need is avocado, of course. I have two kind of smallish ones. And how do you know if an avocado is ripe enough to use? Well, pick it up, give it a little squeeze with your thumb. If it pushes in a little bit, if it gives, that's what you want. If you pick up an avocado and it's still really, really hard, you squeeze it and basically nothing happens, it's too hard. They can get overripe, in which case it feels really mushy, squishy. You don't want to use that for your guacamole. Okay. You're also going to use some lime, and please use fresh lime. Do not use lime juice or even lemon juice in the little plastic bottle. It's nothing like pure lime, okay? Gotta use lime, okay? And fresh cilantro. It's an interesting thing about cilantro. It's kind of a love it or hate it thing. I love cilantro. Some people don't like it. They think it tastes like soap. I think it tastes amazing. Okay. You're also going to need some kind of chili. Okay. Or you could leave it out if you don't like heat at all. But this doesn't have that much heat really. This is a jalapeno. You could use a serrano chili. Either one. I'm going to be using a jalapeno. You also need some kind of onion. Okay, and again, if you don't like onion, you can leave that out. This is a yellow onion. This is a red onion. There's also white onions. You could use any kind of onion you like, even chopped green onion. And salt. Now, salt is really important in guacamole. Salt amps up every other kind of flavor. So avocados don't taste like much alone. You put a little salt on them and they become amazing. And then there's pepper. And a couple of optional ingredients, ground cumin and also garlic powder. If you like these two things, you can add them to that. All right, so when I come back, I'm gonna show you how I prep these ingredients and then we can get started. All right, so what I did was I prepped out some of the ingredients. So as you can see down here, I have cut the lime in half and you can see it has a very thin rind or thin peel, so that's going to be a nice juicy lime. And I've chopped up some of the jalapeno, pretty small. I've chopped up some of the onion, chopped up the cilantro, and I put some salt in here. I'm probably not going to end up using that much though. All right, and remembering that this is not an ingredient, not a recipe that I'm going to give you measurements for, because this is going to be done by taste and feel. All right, so here's one of the avocados. I took care of one of them. Now here's the other one. So let me show you how to cut this guy in half and to get all the flesh out safely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to put it in the avocado and I'm kind of going to turn the avocado all the way around with the knife in it. So the knife comes back to where it started. Okay. Then I'm going to twist it. There you go. That is a beautiful avocado. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, keeping the knife on the board, Do not do this with it in your hand. That's asking for a trip to the emergency room. Okay, like that. I whack the knife into the seed, twist it out. And I'm going to use a towel to pull the seed off, and then the seed will go into the trash. Okay, so if you come on over here, I'm going to scoop out the avocado. I'm just using a spoon, and I'm just going to scoop it out into my bowl along with the other one. Okay, continuing scooping out that beautiful avocado flesh. Whoops. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start smashing it, but I'm not going to smash it all the way. I purposely want some chunks left. I don't want this to be smooth and creamy like sour cream. You could, if that's what your preference is, but I like it with some chunks. So when I come back, I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients. All right, so I've mashed this up a bit, but I still have plenty of chunks. And now I'm going to start to add my ingredients. So first I'm going to add some onions. Now I might not add all of these. I'm going to add some of it now. I love onions, so I tend to like them, like my guacamole, kind of pretty heavy with onions. But again, there are no measurements here. You do it to the way your taste, the way you like. I'm going to now add some jalapeno. And I'm also going to add some of the cilantro. Love cilantro. Okay, now we're definitely going to add lime juice. How do you get the juice out? Squeeze it out. That's why it's really nice to have a lime that has a lot of juice. Now I might add more later. We'll see. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some salt. I'm just going to pinch it with my fingers. I can always add more later. All depends on how it turns out. And I'm going to add some pepper too. Lots of nice pepper. Okay, so I'm going to give this a mix. It smells really good, even from up here. Okay, giving it a mix. I think I'm going to add some of that cumin I was telling you about. This is a lovely spice used in Mexican food, Indian food, lots of different cuisines. Just a little bit of that. Okay, so I'm going to keep mixing this in, and then I'm going to do something that's very, very, very important to the making of guacamole when I come back. All right, so I've mixed a lot of the stuff, everything up, and you'll notice here I haven't used all of my ingredients because I don't know if I'm going to need all of those ingredients, because I have to taste first, and that is an important step. I'm going to have a taste of it, and I'm going to see. Oh, that's really good. I think it needs a little bit more salt. I'm just going to put a bit more. Okay. Remember, you can always add more salt, but you can't unsalt something. Okay. I'm going to add that salt in there. Now I like my guacamole with big pieces and big chunks. If you don't, you can cut your onions smaller, you can chop your cilantro finer, it just depends on what you like. Okay, I'm going to taste it again. New spoon, so I don't get my germs in there. Let's try it again. Oh yeah. Now we're talking. That is delicious. So there you go. Take a good look into that bowl. Beautiful, delicious guacamole. Ready for chips, ready for tacos, ready for egg dishes, ready for anything. This is so, so much better than anything you can buy. I promise you. You're going to love this recipe, and I hope you make it.